For the Cleveland Browns, I think everybody knows exactly what this training camp battle is going to be. It's quarterback. You got Joe Flacco on the roster. You got Kenny Pickett on the roster. Now you have these rookies and Dylan Gabriel, who you drafted first, and then Shedeur Sanders, you drafted after him. You know, Max, I am of the mindset that I think that Joe Flacco is going to start week 1.
Yeah.
And unless there is a phenomenal training camp showing by one of the rookies, I think that is, I feel pretty strongly that that's going to be the case. But I've also been on the record saying I think that Shedeur starts the most games for them this season, even if he's not going to start week 1. How do you feel about this training camp battle? How do you think it's going to shake out, not just for week 1, but also the whole season here for the Browns?
This might be the craziest quarterback battle I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a 4-way quarterback battle before. Usually it's like 2 guys fighting it out. There's never been like 4 guys fighting it out for an NFL starting job, no less, too. Obviously, Joe Flacco is the veteran of the group. He's 40 years old. He started for the Browns a couple years ago, won comeback player of the year, I believe, that year, too. And he's a guy that, I think he's probably the favorite to start right now. Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick a few years ago, but never lived up to the hype in Pittsburgh. And then Dylan Gabriel, drafted in the 3rd round, who's a really good player at Oregon, but I don't think he has the tools to be a starter at the NFL level. Ironically, I think your 5th-round rookie in Shedeur Sanders is the one to be most excited about. I thought this guy was a first-round talent in the NFL draft. Just fell to the 5th round to some other concerns I think some teams had with him. But he had the 3rd best passing grade in college football last year. And Trevor, the only 2 above him were Jackson Dart and Cam Ward, who were first-round picks in the NFL draft. So I think, again, ironically, the 5th-round pick, who a lot of people never really think a 5th-round rookie will start at quarterback, Shedeur Sanders might, like you said, might be the guy that starts the most games for them next year. But I think Joe Flacco will enter the year as the quarterback, and Shedeur might win that job at some point during the season.
Yeah, if you want the numbers to give you faith in an argument for Shedeur Sanders, I mean, we got him. Like you said, like there's so many grades and numbers that really favor what Shedeur was able to do over the last 2 years at Colorado during his entire college career, going back to Jackson State as well. So this is somebody that I know that you and Dalton liked a ton. You certainly would have taken him in the 1st round there. I thought that he was more of like a day 2 selection, but certainly getting him in the 5th round gives you that value. And even me giving him sort of that late 2nd, early 3rd round designation, like that's still somebody who could fight for a starting job in the NFL. And so I think that that's certainly the situation that he has here. Any thoughts to Dylan Gabriel? I mean, they drafted him first.
That's
and there were times when what'd you say?
That's the weirdest part, is that you're talking about Shedeur as like the rookie to know, but they drafted a guy 2 rounds earlier at the same position. So it's like, will Stefanski say, hey, let's start the guy we drafted later as a rookie over the guy we drafted in the 3rd round? This is why it's the weirdest quarterback battle I think I've ever seen in the NFL. I like Dylan Gabriel too. I thought Shedeur was a much better prospect than him, but you drafted him 2 rounds earlier. There's a chance that they go to a rookie, Dylan Gabriel's the first one they try out.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fascinating. That's not just the training camp battle to watch for the Browns. Obviously, it's the training camp battle that we'll all probably hear way too much about, I think, over the next month and a half, if I'm being honest. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below, so if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can become one today.